Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the MACMH Minute. I'm your host, Brandon Jones, Executive Director of Minnesota Association for Children's Mental Health. For the month of February, we want to focus on modeling healthy attachment in relationships for our children. Attachment is one of the key developmental factors in a child's development. We don't always think of it as such an important thing, but we know when a child does not have proper attachment, a lot of developmental issues can be present. Therefore, we want to highlight a few tips around attachment. But first, let's define what is attachment. Attachment is the emotional bond between a child and their caregiver, shaping their sense of security and relationships throughout life. You can have both secure attachment or insecure attachment. Secure attachment builds trust and confidence, while insecure attachment can lead to anxiety, avoidance, fear, and sometimes just complete detachment from human beings. Some key signs of healthy attachment in children looks like when a child is seeking comfort, exploring confidently in their environments, and showing appropriate independence. So they're doing those little things that we like to see in development. They're getting encouragement from the adults or other children and people in their lives, and they're willing to explore and try new things. It's a very healthy sign of development. Some of the red flags of unhealthy attachment is when you see sometimes excessive clinginess, extreme withdrawal, difficulty trusting others, and often, and something we see a lot, is aggression within children. Those are typical red flags of unhealthy attachment within children. How can caregivers influence attachment? A child's attachment style is shaped by how consistently their needs are met, how emotions are handled, and how safe they feel in relationship to the caregiver, parents, or the ones around them. One of the best things that we can do is be consistent. Consistency is key. A predictable, responsive caregiver helps a child feel secure, reduces their stress and their anxiety. So what does that mean? That means we have to have good emotional expression. Our emotional expressions matter. Encouraging open communication, validating children's feelings, teaching them how to process emotions in a healthy way are all good ways of emulating emotional expression and encouraging the children to process their emotions the way that they need to. One of the key things that many parents and caregivers will need to pay attention to as well is conflict resolution and how that impacts attachment. So, being able to show children that disagreements can be handled with respect, patience, and problem solving can reinforce trust and safety. A lot of kids go to throwing things, pushing, shoving, snatching things, but emulating something different, giving a different alternative when frustration or conflict does arise, is one of the key things of building secure attachment. And honestly, one of the best things we can do is model that behavior. Yelling, being frustrated, swearing, all those things are things that children are watching. So when they run into problems, when they run into conflict, they will emulate similar behaviors. What role does physical and emotional presence play? Being intentional with your time is critical. Quality time is important. Affectionate touch is important. And active listening is also important and are essential to strengthening the attachments of young people and their development. How does attachment have an impact on children's mental health? Well, we know secure attached children tend to have higher self-esteem, build better emotional regulation, and have healthier relationships, versus insecure attached children can contribute to a lot of high levels of anxiety, depressive symptoms, and oftentimes difficulty managing their emotions. What about the flip side? What impact does this have on the caregiver's mental health? Parents. Parenting challenges can be overwhelming. I had to pause there because I know. I know as a parent. Especially if a caregiver has their own attached wounds. That inner child work that we have to do is essential to how we show up for the ones we take care of. Recognizing and addressing these patterns can break cycles of unhealthy relationships. Oftentimes we hear things like generational curses. A lot of that is internal work that we have to do to show up better for the ones that we take care of in our own lives. which leads to intergenerational attachment patterns. Let's face it, many caregivers parent the way that they were parented. It's what we know. We rely on it. Even when we tell ourselves we're not going to be like our parents and our caregivers, sometimes we find ourselves saying and doing the exact things that they did. It's part of the subconscious. So reflecting and being very intentional about changing and not following those patterns can improve the relationships for future generations. But it starts with us. It's that internal work. And remembering that we're not always going to get it right, and perfection is not the goal. The journey is about the process and doing things and, fine-tuning as you go. It's about the action. Love is a verb. Love isn't just something that we feel, it's something that we do. Show love through our actions, our words, and consistent care. And the best thing that we can do is model healthy relationships. Our children are always watching us. They're paying attention. So showing healthy relationships, showing healthy disagreement is also part of this as well. Children learn how they form relationships by watching their caregivers. Being intentional and showing kindness, respect, and emotional regulation are all key things in modeling healthy attachment for young people. And then finally, I just want to encourage you one last time before we wrap up today. Encouragement for you as a caregiver or a parent is important. No one is a perfect parent. It takes small, daily moments of connection and repair over and over and over again. And that's what matters more than perfection. It's about fine-tuning and adjusting as we go. It's never too late to strengthen attachment. So start now, start today. We want to encourage you to do your best and keep doing your best. It's not an easy road. Sometimes it's lonely. Even if you have a partner, it can be hard. But at least you have us. We're here to be a resource and help the best way we can. Whether you are a provider, a caregiver, or a parent, MACMH is here for you. That's going to do it for the MACMH Minute. Hopefully we shared something great with you today that you can utilize with you into the future. And let's keep doing great work for the children that we love and care about. Thank you.